Da, 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 da. Oh, I should probably stop before YouTube gives this video a copyright claim. That was my really bad impression of the Star Wars theme, and the month of May is finally here, and I've been watching a lot of Star Wars lately, so let's go and build some Star Wars Lego. But I guess the real question is, which Lego Star Wars set do I start with first? Do I do some battle packs? Yeah, because I've got quite a lot of those waiting to be built, or do I do some other sets? What's hiding under here? No, Marvel, we don't care about you right now. Oh, this classic battle pack from 2020. Everyone went crazy about that one, didn't they? Oh, the Dark Trooper attack. Oh, some nice minifigures in there. Or the Snub Fighter. Or Obi-Wan Starfighter. Yeah? What else is there? Oh, the Sand Speeder. Oh, this is quite old. But doesn't it look cool? Or the Republic tank. Yeah? Very nice. Or what about a big set over there? So, we've got Mando's M1 Starfighter. Looks pretty cool, although it's probably way too big than what it needs to be. I'll decide that once I built it. Or the TIE Bomber. Iconic, right? Or the big one that everyone's talking about, the TIE Interceptor. Although this is obviously the smaller one from last year, but oh, it does look good, doesn't it? Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm going to build this one. It makes sense. So here's everything I've got so far, but it's only the beginning, right? There's going to be loads of new sets, including some more up-to-date ones, which I'll be buying, so stay tuned for that. But I am so excited because I've watched a lot of Star Wars lately, and yeah, that TIE Interceptor, you're being built first. Which is kind of funny how I've centered it, but put everything around it, so I have to ruin this nice display to get that box out. Here we have the LEGO Star Wars 75348 Mandalorian Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor. The set came out in 2023, but even with the new UCS TIE Interceptor out, I've seen people say that they actually prefer this one over the new UCS set. Are they going to be right? I guess I'm going to build this one out, and maybe I'll get the UCS one day, but oh, this does look good, doesn't it? As for minifigures, we get the Mandalorian Fleet Commander, TIE Fighter Pilot, and R2-E6. Everyone's favourite droid, obviously. And on the back of the box, this shows you some different shots. I mean, kind of what you see is what you get with the TIE Interceptor and the Fang Fighter. They're two of my favourite ships in Star Wars, if I'm being honest, so I'm pretty excited to build this. Inside the box, we have a lot of numbered bags, of course, and our instruction booklets. Separate booklets for each ship, so here's the one for the TIE Interceptor, and here's the one for the Fang Fighter. Too bad it's a little bit creased. I always hate when that happens. There are 8 numbered bags in total. Bags 1, 2, and 3 build the Fang Fighter, as you can see from my creased instruction booklet, and bags 4, 5, 6, 7, and... hold on, what about bag number 8? We've got 8 bags here, but the instructions only feature 7 bags? Let me take a look. Okay, so inside, yep, 4, 5, 6, 7... oh, nothing about bag number 8? Oh no, here we go. Bag 8 is used for the TIE Interceptor, although clearly I guess it's supposed to be a surprise because you don't know until at the very end when you're about to use it to build the rest of the wings. Did somebody at LEGO make a mistake? I think they did. And something that's actually a nice surprise is there are no stickers in this set, so I'm guessing everything must be printed. Nice. First things first, I'm going to build the Fang Fighter, and I guess it's handy that it has separate bags and separate instructions. So in case you didn't like this one, you could just set it on, or 2 people can build at once. Because I know some people didn't like this design for a Fang Fighter, but I guess I'm about to find out if it's any good. I've finished building the Fang Fighter. Very sleek design, low profile, nice and flat. Look at that. Sure, does it look like an actual Fang Fighter? Because the wings can't rotate, and maybe it's a bit too small, but as its own thing, this is a cool looking spacecraft. It reminded me of something I would have built in my childhood, actually. Mostly plate building, nice and flat. And the wings, yeah, this is pretty nice. And then some of the spare parts, including all the kind of helmet accessories for the Mandalorian guys here, with the pilot and the, of course, the Mandalorian himself. And there's actually enough spare parts so you can actually make a whole second Darksaber. So Mando can have one, you can give one to your pilot friend here, and they can each have a thermal detonator. And if the pilot wants to take off his helmet, he has a hairpiece. If Din wants to take off his helmet, he's just bold because he doesn't deserve to take off his helmet because that's against the creed. So with the Fang Fighter out of the way, it's time to build the TIE Interceptor, the thing I'm most excited for. Wow, look at that absolute beauty. The TIE Interceptor is finished. And to go along with it, of course, you get your TIE Pilot with a spare blaster there. That's handy to have. And your Imperial Astromech, although unfortunately, there's nowhere for this droid to go. Obviously, it doesn't fit in the cockpit of the Interceptor.
Then again, you know, the Mandalorian doesn't fit inside the Fang Fighter because it's only a one-seater, so they can just sit down and watch whilst the dogfighting's happening. So I'm not going to go crazy in depth through a review here because, you know, this set's been out for a year, and if you wanted it, you probably watched the review about a year ago. But what do I think? Well, I like what you get. Cool building techniques, nice finished models. Sure, are they perfect? No, but are you ever going to get them perfect? Because I'm sure a LEGO Star Wars fan will always find something to complain about. But let's start off with the Fang Fighter. I love how it's so kind of sleek and low profile. Yeah, as I mentioned, you know, you can't rotate the wings or anything. What you see is what you get. This is it. One-seater, fits nicely in there. Very detailed. I like that look of that interior of the cockpit there with the controls. No stickers in the set. In fact, there are only 2 printed parts. So you got the console piece, which is repeated inside the TIE Interceptor, and then you got the nice print for the hatch on there as well. But I'll talk about that in a minute. You know, we're all about the Fang Fighter here. Got the flip fire missiles underneath, and then some blasters represented on top, which would probably be the most delicate thing on here. Just, you know, they're not that loose, but it'll be the only thing I would keep an eye on. But otherwise, yeah, pretty nice. And now it's time to talk about this absolute beast. Yeah, let's get the major nitpick out of the way, which everyone talked about a year ago. Yeah, you got those awkward gaps, which you can't really see from this angle, but if I lift it up, you can kind of see them. Yeah, you know, one there, one there. Yeah, that's probably the worst thing about it. And maybe the Technic pins blue showing there. Some people might not like that, but otherwise, it's so good, isn't it? The size and the scale that they got this, you immediately know what it's trying to be. Yeah, big fan of that. Although, the one thing I'm not too keen on is just the whole weight of the thing resting on the wings here. As you can see, it kind of, if you can see it, it does squash them slightly and cause some bending, which it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it should be fine, and I might hook this up with a fancy display stand anyway. And despite most of the weight being at the back because of the cockpit, if you leant on it too much, it will fall forward. But otherwise, yeah, it's fine, isn't it? As for the cockpit itself, of course, it's a little bit blocky, but it's a LEGO set. What do you expect? I think they did a really good job at trying to give it some roundness in here. And, you know, this isn't... Getting the cockpit smooth and round is something they've kind of struggled, even with the new UCS TIE Interceptor. Some people are complaining about that one, but this one, you see how the windscreen piece there fits perfectly in these curved arches. That's so satisfying. Of course, you can take that down, pop your minifigure in there, lift up the hatch, you've got easy access. Yeah, it's a snug fit, but it's good. And I'm glad you can actually see the minifigure through the cockpit. So you want to see your little pilot in there, don't you? So that's what it looks like with your TIE pilot inside. Doesn't have anywhere to store their gun, but, you know, I just put it on their lap. It's fine. But the Fang Fighter does have a spot to store the accessories. So if you lift up this little hatch, it's not much space, but it is just enough to store the blaster and thermal detonator. So let's pop those in there and then pop that back on. Ta-da! It fits, and at least you know they're safe. And if we lift up the hatch for this guy, pop him in there. So the pilot does fit in there with his jetpack on, and I've just lowered his rangefinder. So it's, you know, he's almost laying back pretty far, but it's a snug fit. At least he's in there. And then there we go. You can see the minifigure. Great, love to see that. And same for the TIE Interceptor, to see your pilot in there. Although you can't really see him because the light's reflecting awkwardly, but you can see him. He's in there. It's great. This is probably one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets in recent years. It is just so good. Although, yeah, you got these guys. Cool astromech. Too bad there's no printing on the back. You know, all astromech droids should have printing on the back these days. I think R2-D2 only got it recently, but it should just be standard at this point. And believe it or not, I don't think they needed to include a Din Djarin in this set at all. It's always nice to get more minifigures, but, you know, he's in every set for the Mandalorian. They didn't really need him. There's nowhere for him to go. I would have liked to have seen other Mandalorian characters. That would have been better, I think. But now I've finished building this LEGO Star Wars set. Which one of these would you like me to build next? Tell me in the comments, and maybe I might just do it.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the other videos on this channel or on one of my other channels as well. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share with your friends.